Hi folks, it's Richard from Inclusive Driving. Back in the olden days when I did my driving test, this was in 1990 something or other, the reversing manoeuvres were different. And one of them was called the turn in the road, what we commonly call the 3-point turn. It's not in the driving test anymore, but we still do tend to teach it because out of all the reversing manoeuvres, that's possibly the one you're going to do the most often on the road. But here are 5 other ways to turn your car around to face the other way if you've taken a wrong turn. So this, I suppose, is a 3-point turn, but we're checking for pedestrians and taking advantage of the drop curb to create a little bit more space. Palming the steering wheel so that we steer very efficiently and we get the manoeuvre done with no time at all. The taxi turn is where we dip into a side road on the left and then dip out of it again. We've got 3 directions to be aware of here. Traffic could come from 3 different places, and here we do a momentary pause to allow for an over-the-shoulder blind spot check. Well, the 2-point turn is a bit like a 3-point turn, except it's in 2 moves instead of 3. So we start with the reverse. You need to make sure that when you come to a stop, you're not jammed up against the left-hand curb, because you've got to have room for the front of the car to move to the left without mounting the curb. But look how quick that was, missing out an entire phase of a 3-point turn and just making it 2 points. The taxi turn on the right is very similar to the taxi turn on the left. We're dipping into a side road on the right. 3 different directions that traffic could come from, so 3 different directions to be aware of. Again, a momentary pause here to allow for an over-the-shoulder check before continuing. The balloon is where we approach the end of a road at a T-junction and we swing to the left and then draw a big circle to the right. Once again, we've got traffic that could come from several different directions to be aware of. So now drawing a massive circle, looking into the road on the right that I'm turning back into, just to check that no one's come up behind me, and off we go. And a throwback to the 1990s when I did my driving test, the corner reverse. This is a little bit like reversing into a parking bay. So being aware that the front of the car will swing to the right as I reverse to the left, being very aware of who's coming behind me to the end of the road that I'm reversing into, and then from this point it's simply a right turn. Well, that's all for now, and we'll see you on another video very soon.